Macca's Reviews.
Hey guys, Macca here. Welcome to my first impressions video of Titanfall. This is not a full review because I'm not going to be discussing every little detail about the game that nobody cares about. This is a first impressions video. I've played the game for about 15 hours, have a really good feeling for it. And with that being said, I did play before the game was launched, so the community was pretty low. And you'll want to keep that in mind as you watch this, although I did get some really great games in. I'll start off the review by kind of talking about some good stuff, then hinting about some bad stuff, and then wrapping it all up for you guys. Now, the good news is the game is pretty, as you've probably seen in the beta. It's just as pretty in the full game, if not prettier, because of the added textures and resolution and all that. All those numbers. The game is pretty and it runs great. The frame rate's great, and I've never had any chug, never had any problems with the game actually running on my console, which is always great news, especially for a game like this that is quote-unquote pushing the limits. Now, the game ships with, I believe, 15 maps, and that's plenty of maps. They all feel very different, which is great. You don't want the same thing kind of repeating. And each map has a great sense of verticality. Now, what that means is every map has a good sense of height and layers and floors. But with that being said, if you're on one floor, you don't feel like you're detached from another floor of maybe a map. It all feels very well interconnected, and it feels like you can get exactly where you want to go in a very, very fast way by basically just running there in a straight line, and that's always great. The movement feels great, as you've probably seen in the beta. Wall running, double jumping, jetpack, all that stuff still feels great. And another thing I really did like about the game is it never puts you in the mindset that you're not able to win. Even when you're a pilot and you're facing a Titan, it's still balanced enough that you do stand a chance, even though it seems that you might be overpowered. When comparing this full launch to the beta of the game, I'll be honest, not a lot has changed. It does feel extremely similar. The beta was more or less a slightly flushed out version with less options than this full game. And the graphics might have slightly improved, but if you did really enjoy the beta, there's not a lot of changes that have been made other than more content that is available to all the players now. Moving on from that, I'll kind of talk about some of the things that I do not like about this game. These were things I didn't like in the beta. I had talked about it, posted it on forums, never made a video about it, but none of these things have changed, unfortunately, and I think they really should be talked about. Now, the current game, the way it's shipped, does not have private matches, meaning you can't do like a 6v6 with 12 friends or whatever. That's supposed to be added post-game. I'm just letting you guys know it is not currently available. Now, another problem I did personally encounter is that in between games, the teams do not randomize. And what this means is that you will be on the same team, game in and game out, as long as nobody quits off your team. And even if someone quits, it won't take someone from the other team, it'll just make someone else new join into that team. Now, that doesn't seem like maybe a big problem, but it did actually greatly impact the game for me. During my first play, my team actually won 16 games in a row. And yeah, that might sound great. Oh, why are you complaining that you won 16 games? It's not fair to the other team for a team to basically be winning and winning and winning, and the other team never has a shot at any type of victory based solely on the fact that we are a stacked team just by chance. And, you know, people keep quitting off the other team because they're losing. They keep getting replaced with new players that don't really know what's going on. I kind of felt bad for winning so many times, and I was at the point where I was wishing I could switch over, or wishing that it would randomize the teams to in order to kind of give everyone a fair chance at winning. I did not like that. I played a little bit further on, and you know, there was some games that it was mixed results, but for the most part, once one team kind of gets on a roll, there's no stopping them, and it's not to do with skill, it's more to do with the randomization of teams. That's a serious problem in my books, potentially game breaking to some people, so you'll want to keep that in mind. Now, another thing that the game might do poorly to some people, not to me personally, I just wanted to point out that the game doesn't have as much customization as some people may be used to. Now, I typically like this because the less customization there is, it usually means that the game is more competitive, everyone's more at the same level. So this game has more or less one sniper rifle, one long-range rifle, a fully automatic rifle, like one SMG, one shotgun, one LMG. It has one of every type of weapon. So you want to keep that in mind. You won't have like a choice of 15 different types of light machine guns. Also, the kits and the abilities, there's only like 6 abilities and like a few kits. So there's not as much customization as a lot of people may be used to. Also, they did seem to leave out like camo for your guns, which I thought was pretty obvious to put in there. That doesn't exist, unfortunately. And another very, very small problem, although apparent to me personally, you can't edit the name of your custom loadouts. So I like to name my loadout like Assault class or, you know, Sniper class. But the game will stick to like Custom Loadout 1, Custom Loadout 2. It is kind of annoying to not be able to name those because it can get confusing when trying to pick the right loadouts. So that's just a personal preference again. Now to wrap all of this great content up, the game is still amazing, and I want to point out that the Xbox One release of this game is very, very, very different from the Xbox 360 version of this game. The games are not even made by the same people, and there's basically no Xbox 360 footage to be seen. If I was an Xbox 360 owner and I wanted to play Titanfall and was planning on buying an Xbox One, I would buy that Xbox One before buying Titanfall. Don't wait for that Xbox 360 version. The graphics are going to be dumbed down and the frame rate's going to be taken a big hit. But if you do have an Xbox One, you have to buy this game if you remotely like FPS or you want to play with anybody who's going to be online, because this game is going to be huge. This game is so much fun. It's competitive. It is the new generation of online gaming, and I've just been having a blast with it, and I know I'll be playing well over 500 matches. Hopefully I'll play some of those matches with you guys. Thanks for watching. As always, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you found anything in this video useful, informational, or entertaining. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments down below, and I'll try my best to answer everyone's questions. And hopefully, I see you in one of my next videos. Peace.